I'm Savannah, this is Cleaver Cooking, and today we're gonna make some eggplant parm. The first day of spring was yesterday, I think, and it's snowing outside, and we got 2 feet of snow last weekend, which is not my favorite. So instead of making something spring-esque, we're gonna make this. Let's make some eggplant parm. Now, we're gonna get our marinara going. So find your pan. You know, I really thought this one had more scratches, which it does not, but it's bigger, so we're gonna use it. When I'm making a quick marinara, instead of like, you know, like a 6-hour marinara, I like to use a saute pan because you have more surface area, so it goes a bit more quickly. And now, lucky us, I made some marinara, I don't know, some time ago for some pizza sauce. So we have some marinara, but I want a bit more marinara, so we're just gonna kind of seed it and get everything going. We're just gonna find a little clove of garlic here. While this is heating, we're gonna kind of keep it on a lower heat. Just gonna scooch, scooch, peel. Ah, what a shame. This is what I needed the paring knife for. Oh. There we are. Good enough? Okay, so what we're gonna do, let's put a little bit of a neutral oil in there. And we're just gonna put the garlic right in. There she is. It's like what I do for all of my quick marinaras because, you know, making a long one is really good. It takes a lot of planning ahead time, and that's just not me lately. So as soon as the garlic gets a little bit sizzly, a little bit more sizzly, there we go. We're gonna add the already made marinara. And then we're just gonna seed it with a bit of crushed tomato. That's probably good. We'll just save this for something else. Just a bit of water. Usually I rinse out the can, but since we're keeping the rest of that, we'll just rinse out the bowl here. And that's gonna allow it to kind of simmer for a bit, and then this water will cook off and it'll get nice and thick again. Now, while that's going, just a wee bit of sugar, some salt. Oh dear. Okay. Get all your little spices here and just put in whatever dried herbs that you have. We got some whole basil. That's a lot. We got some oregano. I would go heavier on the oregano in the event that, you know, you don't lose control of your basil. And some dried thyme, a little lighter on the dried thyme. But really, you do you. Some crushed red pepper. I like mine spicy. Like, I like for people to take a bite of my marinara sauce and kind of go, yep, there she is. Okay, and just stir that in. Let it do its thing. Down to a good simmer, if you will. Fantastic. All the tasting spoons are gone, no matter. That's why we don't use those. Just a wee bitsy. All right, now then, we're gonna bread the eggplant here. And so let's get our breading going. We have some flour, some eggs. You could use buttermilk or even alternative milk. This would be a really easy dish to turn vegan. And let's go ahead and add some of this. And add some thyme, some thyme, some thyme. Yep. Oregano. Shh. Stop spitting. What is this, basil? Yes, basil, basil. Okay, say goodbye. And when you're making, like, you know, when you're breading something, just go to your pantry and grab whatever is there. Ow! So mean. Did I get me? It's tasty though. What did we salt? This one, this one, this one. This one looks like it needs a little bit more. Okay, usually I put cayenne in breading, but because this is Italian, we were already using the chili flakes, we're just gonna do those too. Light everybody up just a little bit, you know. Ta-da, ta-da, ta-da. Beautiful. And now this is a nice trick, right? We go the dry ingredients. You know, I think we're gonna put a bit of cornstarch in with the breadcrumbs. And just check in on this little situation here. Depending on what style of eggplant parm you wanna do, like if you wanna, oh dear, bake yours for quite a while, you wanna stop while it's a bit watery. But I don't think we're gonna do that today, so I'm gonna let it go for just another minute there. All right, cornstarch. Ooh. Got a nice little crunch to it. but totally optional. And really with the breadcrumbs, you can just get in there and then give it some encouragement. And you know, when this one's talking to you that much, it's probably good to go, so we're just gonna scooch it back there. We already have a lot of flavor developed from the previous marinara, so we don't have to give it so long. There we go. Then we do the other dry. And let's just taste the breadcrumb, see how we did. It's bland. And frying stuff makes it even blander, so we're gonna salt and salt and salt. Nothing worse than going to all the trouble of frying and then the stuff is bland. It's just very disappointing. Okay. And now we do the egg mixture. This way we don't have to use 2 whisks. Save a dish. All right, eggplant. Now these sad looking little eggplants are actually going to be divine because what we did, so most eggplants, especially these larger varietals, have a bit of bitterness to them, and they have a lot of water content, which is really not desirable when you're trying to fry it, right? When you fry it, the water starts to release, it washes the breading off, and it's just a soggy, not lovely thing. If you're using eggplant for anything, just put some salt on it and come back later, and it will be so much better, regardless of what it is. For these, I want an extra step. What I did is I just tossed them all down here, salted like a little bit more than you would want to eat on both sides of it, put another sheet pan on top, and just left it. And I came back when I felt like it, which turned out to be about 3 hours. And actually, I'm just recalling, I saved it. I saved the salty eggplant water for your enjoyment. You're welcome. This is how much water we got out of salting this medium eggplant and letting it sit for 3 hours. It's almost 1/3 of a cup, okay? So that's a good amount of liquid there that would have been like soggy and trying to release as we were frying it if we hadn't done this. So totally optional, but at least put some salt on it and let it sit for like 30 minutes if nothing else. Yay, all our little eggplants here. So then, you know, that was like 5 days ago because we were gonna do this a few days ago and then we got tired so we didn't. So these have had even a little bit more time to dry out in the fridge. And you can see they look kind of sad, but they're gonna be so perfect for this. So what we're gonna do, we are going to bread our eggplants. All right, so both sides with the flour, dust it into the egg mixture. Get that close. A 1, a 2, let go, thank you. 3, and then, oh see, I've already messed it up. If you take 1 hand for dry and 1 hand for wet, it goes much better, but really just do your best and it'll be fine. Okay, now see, this is part of the problem with breading things. Like that's okay, but I think let's try a 1, a 2. Let's do a little double breading on it. That's a bit better. I think so. There we are. I'm just gonna repeat that with the rest of them. All right, so you bread all these suckers and then you forget that you've already done it twice on one of them, and that's this one. So, you know, the breading's definitely gonna fall off there for any of you that were thinking 2 times, why not 3? That's why it'll fall off. Anyways, you clean up the shit and realize that deep frying is very wasteful of a lot of ingredients, and that coupled with the fact that it takes 3 years to do is why we don't do it very often, but when we do, it's very delicious. And then you get some oil heating up here. Not olive oil, please, for the love of God. Something neutral, something that's not gonna smoke up your kitchen. We're gonna heat it to about like, you know, 375, 400, because then it's gonna cool down when we add our first batch. We wanna fry around 350. All right, we're like at 370 something. So I think it's time, let's do it. Okay, here we go. Let's get the excess off because it's just gonna fall off in the pan and then it's gonna burn. It's gonna make your oil taste like shit. Oh, that good royal, that's what we're going for. Yes, lovely. We're gonna try and do, you know, ones that are approximately the same size. So we're kind of going for small ones right now, so we'll just get this going. Now don't crowd it, but we can do about this many. Oh, this looks nice, it smells so good. For as much as I talk shit on it, I really do love fried food. And just let them go for like, I don't know, till they're kind of brown on one side and flip them over. Check our oil temperature, see where we're at. Yeah, we're right about 350. So you just kind of gotta babysit it. Adjust the heat as needed. Like when you drop something in a deep fry and you know, it roils and it bubbles and bubbles and that's lovely. And when the bubbles finally start to calm down, that's a good time to check in on it and be like, are you ready? Scooch, scooch, scooch.
Scooch, 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 scooch.
A little bit longer. If you listen, you can hear the eggplant inside like kind of singing or screaming, depending on your interpretation. That's the water leaving. That's pretty nice. Look at that. So lovely. We'll just give it like another 30 seconds, minute, whatever. Just check in. It was pretty good. Pretty good. You know what, I think this one could be done. Let's just scooch this over here because I don't want to clean up a mess later. I know that I have to. Right back on and let it drain for a second. Still sizzling. Where's the salt? Here we go. This is where you salt. Salt. Well, it's still nice and warm. There we go. Make room, coming out. And then you can always check after we salt. Salt, salt, salt. A 1 hot, 2 hot, 3 hot, 4. There we go. And just take your little thermometer here and check the internal temperature of the eggplant. Oh yeah, that's done. You want at least 165 and it's like 200. Lovely. And then we're just gonna repeat that with the rest of it. All right, last little bitsies are coming out of the fryer here. Remember that you forgot to preheat your oven to broil. So go ahead and do that now. Obviously we're gonna broil on high. I don't understand at all what the point of having your broil on low is. Doesn't make any sense. All right, we tasted one of these and they're pretty good and salty, so I'm not gonna salt the rest of these. Lovely. Shut that off, let this do its thing. Woohoo! God, it's so good, so full of flavor. Get your little dish here. And we are going to add some, oh dear, marinara. We're gonna take our little marinaras here. Okay, just a little layer for the bottom. Little love, Magsy. Hello. Now some people, you know, you'll take your marinara, you layer your stuff in and you bake it, and that's a lovely option. We're just gonna broil it. We could have reduced the marinara a bit more, but I think it's fine. Okay, let's start with our, oh yeah. It's gonna be good. Oh, it's gonna be lovely. Here we go. Okay. Just a little layer of marinara. We're not trying to sog it. That's also why we did plenty of breading, right? Rest of these guys, oh yeah. We're one shy, so we're just gonna scooch them in there. I don't make the rules. A little more marinara. Golly, if that doesn't look fine. See, I love it when you did exactly the right amount of something, and I think we did exactly the right amount of marinara. Because it was questionable. I was like, that little bit we had in the fridge, it could have stretched, but I think this was the right call. And see, you guys are seeing it from that end. Yeah, there's a couple spots I missed there. It's fine, there's more in the bottom. Now then, take your grated mozzarella you've been, whoops, snacking on, and don't be stingy, you know? It's like if you come here and you're looking for, trying to cut your calories or whatever, you've come to the wrong place. See, that's what happens when you snack on it. There's not quite as much as you want there to be, and those are just the natural consequences of our actions. All right, so we're gonna clean this up off the side so we don't have to scrub the broiled tomato shit up later. And let's broil it. That's not gonna work. Now keep a close eye on that. Take like 3 minutes maybe. All right, and so you get your pasta noodles that you have magically cooked in the interim between this. I actually cooked them ahead of time because I didn't really want a pot of hot oil and my noodle water going at the same time. And I was gonna just reboil the water and drop them back in, but instead, I just stuck it in the microwave. It's fine. Okay, now then, look at this loveliness, dear God. I'm so excited. Wow, here we go. Got a nice broil on these. It's fabulous. Fabulous, fabulous. Truly lovely. And you know, for the photo, we're just gonna put that one back and do, ruining my Another one with broiled cheese because it's gotta look appealing. That's what everything about these is about these days, no? Oh dear. And we're using the towel. I'm so good at plating things. Let's clean up that little mess there like it never happened. And you know, I think that could use some more marinara. See, that's where, just put a little on the bottom. A little bit of parsley that also magically appeared. You know, that's how cooking shows work, right? Beautiful. Oh man. Okay guys, I'm really excited to eat this and Tony still has to take a picture of it, so we're gonna go. But I love you so much. Thank you so much for watching. This is Cleaver Cooking. Subscribe! The end.